All right, brother. Thank you for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it. For sure, man. So this is Socks on or Off podcast. What this podcast is I get different individuals on, such as yourself, talk about different things that they're into or that they're doing, or just to get to know them a little bit more. So today, that's what we'll be doing. We'll get to know you. I know you have a pretty unique and cool story, and just have a nice conversation. So first, if you just want to introduce yourself, and we'll just hop in from there.
Okay, so my name is Jack Musukuma. I'm from Odessa, Texas. Went to Permian High School. Ran track at Oral Roberts University. Have a clothing brand called W. Work at a bank and box for fun now. So, yeah,
for fun.
That's how I met my guy. So yeah.
Yeah, man. The last name is really interesting. You said your dad was from Kenya?
Zambia, yeah.
Close. So. Probably not close. They're probably two different places.
See, so I'm uncultured. I don't know much about the culture or much about like where exactly. I know like surrounding like Zimbabwe. It's south. Zambia's south, but that's
okay.
About
About all you know. Yeah. Man, that's the thing that's so unique about Africa. It was like, it's so damn big. People thought it was just a country in itself.
Yeah.
Like, no, guys, there's actual countries in Africa.
And cities.
Right,
and
man.
Like, it's big.
Yeah, like growing up, they always had that propaganda of like hungry children over there.
What?
It was probably true. But damn, what am I supposed to do?
Look, hey, hungry children where? Hungry.
Right, they were talking about 50 cents a day to feed these children. My son, his nuggets alone is like $12. I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
Like, they be talking about mud huts and all. This is where my parents are from. That's a whole city. Hey, that look like Tulsa to me.
Yeah, shit.
So, I don't know. There is starving people, there is villages and all that stuff, but it's more modern than people think. So,
yeah, man, and Africa is such a unique continent and so rich in resources that it's really interesting that they're in poverty. That they are, but it just goes to show world power, and then other things that go into that as well. But it's cool probably to see with time and with more knowledge and social media that these places can get more up to speed and different things, hopefully more in healthcare, man, because you got malaria, you got Nile virus, so you got a lot of things. Man, when Ebola first came to the United States, I was terrified.
I was in panic.
I was like, what is this?
When I heard, I don't remember where the first case was, but I remember I was in Missouri at the time. I was like,
yeah, niggas is bleeding from their eyes. they bleed everywhere.
No, it's scary. But yeah, no, Africa it's not as crazy as it seems, but it also is, because like it's corrupt. The only ones that can succeed is the people in high power and government.
Yeah. And
so like the people in lower classes working for pennies and dimes. I mean, everything is cheaper there, but it's because you're gonna work 12-hour days just to get a little tortilla.
Right.
Like,
yeah, man, and that's the crazy thing about how a lot of people live. Like if you go to resorts, there's people that will see this fancy resort, all these other ethnicities having fun, and then literally on the other side of the gate or whatever, this poverty.
Yeah, poverty.
There was dirt.
Yep.
And famine.
Yeah,
exactly. It was dirt and famine. Exactly. And it's so crazy how numb, or how, I don't even think it's numb at this point. I just think people don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can be ignorant to the other side of life.
Yeah.
Right? Even in America, you see how low some of the ghettos are, or how uneducated these individuals, even like adults. I talk to some adults and I'm like, how are you smart? Or not even smart, because you're not. Like, how are you functioning in this world?
Yeah.
But then again, man.
Yeah, a lot of people be naive to it. But like you said, there's poverty in America too.
Yeah,
like,
man.
A lot of people think that Africa's so bad, but we go down to, people call it over here Crack Mart.
Yeah.
And like there's like, it's like a bunch of homeless people and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, like
if you want to grab the wire.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times we tend to like forget that there's a lot of people struggling here in America, and we try to go back over there in Africa and all that stuff, but we can also help people here. So,
yeah.
I
think it makes sense in the fact that, or if you're the individuals in power, like in America, because I feel like what needs to be done to stay in power or to stay in the position that you're in is to have different source of income, but also have a source of outcome. Meaning you have the poor people spending and having less money, but then you're getting income with like foreign aid, or you're helping people with other things. Or I guess I switch income and outcome, but outcome going to other countries, income from the poor people. Like, it's tax time. How many niggas is about to buy Gucci, like other stuff? Dolce and Gabbana, like, I don't even know what this shit is, nigga. As long as I'm warm, I don't care what the brand says. I was fat all my life. It was Burlington and fucking big and tall. You feel me?
9 times out of 10, my wear is thrift. Hand-me-down, like these sweats is or you track. You're not gonna get them anywhere. My dad gave them to me. Like it's like I'm not gonna. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what the problem is too. Is like you said, taxes are gonna come around. A lot of people are gonna buy fancy things, bougie things. But imagine if they were to like just invest that money.
Right.
You know how rich they'll end up being. Like I'm right now, I'm learning so much about investing. It's like we could all be rich in 4 years.
Yeah, it's the financial illiteracy.
Yeah.
That we don't understand that we have.
Yeah.
Right. We think it's okay that we didn't learn financial literacy in school, but then when we get to adults, I feel like now we don't think it exists.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people I've seen and talked to, they're in a position that is just comfortable. They're making it. Their kids are decently okay. Yeah. You know, food stamps is coming in every 1st, 5th, or 10th. And they're okay with that.
Yeah.
But then you have other people who, they have like that blue pill, red pill. It's like, well, I can be over here, but what's on the other side of that?
Yeah.
You know, like, what is it like buying Gucci and then being Gucci? You feel me? Like, still being good.
Exactly.
And that's something that I was always fascinated by. It's like, I just want to have enough money to do what I want when I want to do it.
Exactly.
I don't care about being fucking billionaire for what?
Exactly.
You know, like, it's not going to be spent in mine, my son, my grandchild. Like, $1 billion is a lot of fucking dollars, right? But it's just, and that's the thing, like, generational wealth is such a beautiful thing. But I feel like people, even rich people, get into the habit of working, building up a number that really doesn't exist. Meaning, so I was watching Breaking Bad, and the wife was talking to the husband and showed him like this big ass pile of money that he accumulated. Yeah. And she was like, when is this going to be big enough?
Yeah.
They didn't know how much money was there, but she was like, bro, how much is enough?
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand that. And as long as you have enough, meaning you can do what you want when you want to do it, and then teach your kids how to maintain that level of financial security, then you've done your job. Exactly. You're missing out on life. You're missing out on your child's life. And people just cruise it, man.
Exactly. And I feel like it's like a lot of like, you have to really just find your peace at where you're at. Financially, mentally, all that stuff combined, because there's rich people that commit suicide every day. Mm-hmm. There's billionaires that have committed suicide. There's millionaires that committed suicide. But guess what? We, as people, I'm 22. I see someone that's 22 and they got 10 million in their bank account. I'm like, dang, that's big. But they could be going through something. They could be. And so at the end of the day, we could be chasing a number, like you said, that doesn't exist. And all our life, we're going to be chasing.
Right.
No day in our life will we have all the money in the world. Like, I mean, the presidents of the United States, they don't have all the money in the world. Like, no one has all the money in the world. And so you're going to be chasing all your life. Mm-hmm. And so until you find that thing that makes you peaceful, and, like, you're like, okay, this is giving me peace. I like to travel, and I'm able to do that. So I'm at peace now. Or I want to provide, financial freedom for my kids. Peaceful, like stuff like that, or like generational wealth. Mm-hmm. Until you find like what brings you that peace, you'll be chasing something all your life, and you'll never be able to grab it.
Yeah, man. And my son's gonna be 5 in like 8 days.
Yeah,
and thank you, man. I kept him alive for 5 years, man. Shout out to me.
Hey, yeah,
that shit's hard. He runs into traffic. He fucking, when he was learning how to walk, would fall in the shit. Bro, like they are. Man.
Hey, if y'all see him dropping his kids off to school, y'all better tell y'all's kids not to mess with his, because he gonna come for y'all. He got them. He got them.
I can't fight. Oh.
Nah, y'all should see him. Y'all should see him.
Man.
Y'all be surprised.
Oh. And that's a funny thing, man, because I don't know if you know who this is, but Daniel Cormier, the UFC fighter.
Yeah.
There was a story he was telling. I forgot who it was. But I think it was the guys from the Pivot podcast, the ex-NFL players.
Yeah.
But he was like, I was at the park with my son when he was younger, and this kid kept pushing him down. So I went up to the dad and was like, hey, if your kid pushed my kid down, I'm going to push you down and see how you like it. And I tried to think, like, would I be that dad, man?
I feel like I would be that dad.
Right.
I'm not gonna put my hands on another little kid, but I'm gonna teach that kid.
Yeah.
Hey, your actions got consequences,
and your dad's
gonna reap them.
Man, my
teach
brother.
Him a lesson.
Yeah, my brother brought that up to me yesterday. Or was it my brother? Oh, who was I talking to yesterday? No, it was actually my barber.
Yeah,
that's odd. But we were talking about disciplining, like if you got with a girl that had a kid, and I was like, would you like want to discipline them if they were being disrespectful in your house, blah blah blah? And he was like, no, man, because you don't know what the dad could do. What if the dad could whoop your ass and now he's whooping your son's ass? It's like, what's gonna happen, man? It's like, I don't know, man.
I always tell my friends, like, whenever it comes to like, if I were to get with like date a girl that has a kid, I wouldn't discipline that kid, because I know for sure if I had a kid, I would not want him going over to like the stepdad's house, and he come home and he's like, Dad, so and so beat me up, so and so what me, like, no, I'm not gonna have that.
Right.
Like, just bring my kid back to me and I'll spank him for you. Like, I'm gonna hopefully teach my kid not to do that or be disrespectful, but yeah, nah, I'm not with that. You not putting your hands on my kid.
Yeah.
Like,
and see, so as an individual who has a kid, and then I've talked to women who have children, I feel like if the father is not like present, or if the nigga's like a part-time dad, nigga, don't tell me anything that's happening over here. You feel me? Like, and that to me makes sense, because with my son, of course I teach him love and respect, but I'm involved 90% of the time, it feels like. So if he does, I mean, and of course I feel like his mom should have the authority to discipline him, but also reach out to me as well.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, if I wasn't present, or if I was a deadbeat father and that man is showing my son how to be a man, type shit, then I feel like it would be necessary, because now I'm just my son's friend. I'm not teaching him anything. I'm not adding any value. But I mean, I'm not talking about just beat the little nigga.
But that's a sense of maturity too. Like, that's like, that takes maturity to be like, okay, I am lacking where I'm supposed to be in that department. Right. So then he's stepping up. That's good. Like, that's good that at least my son's learning, and like that's taking away your pride.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, if I didn't change myself for the better, I'd rather have been dead, because what am I showing my son that's going to increase his chances at success in the future? If I'm still almost 500 pounds, if I'm still not doing podcasts or whatever. I'm not adding anything. He's seeing failure after failure after failure. Exactly. So, it makes sense that the maturity has to grow, because he's growing, I'm growing. But in order to make it, in order to give your child, in my opinion, the greater chance of success, they have to see you in different situations handling it properly. Like, remember we were talking at the gym, like, if somebody disrespects me in front of my son, I don't know how like, there's sometimes like walk away, be the bigger person, but other times you probably have to get beat up,
exactly.
Right? But it's like, now, especially a black boy that I'm raising, you have to act and hold in check your emotions in certain situations. So being pulled over or going somewhere where it's easier for them to see you differently. And if I'm not mature enough to understand consequences, or understand if I allow myself and then him in the future to act on emotion, it could go wrong for either of us. So a big thing for fathers is to have that maturity. Exactly. Because the maturity, in my opinion, comes with wisdom, and wisdom is probably the strongest thing you can have. So,
and it's like, I mean, like, that's even the crazy part too. Like, I've told my brother and like people around me, I'm like, dang, it's crazy to think.
You want to hold it a little closer?
Yeah.
There. Thank you.
It's like sometimes I'm like, okay, would it be smart to bring a kid into this world? Because not only are we fighting like the stigmas and like just profiling all that stuff from other people at times, but also we're fighting ourselves, you know? Like, I can't, like, if I go somewhere and I'm dressed a certain way, it's like, look at that dude. Why he wearing that?
For sure.
Or like if I just, there's been times I just like maybe use my God-given eyes and look at someone, and then next thing you know, it's about to be an altercation. And it's like, okay, why are we have to defend ourselves from those other people, cops and stuff like that? I'm not saying everyone's bad. Not all people are bad, but there's still bad people. It's like bringing those raising our kids in the future of like the future basically on that foundation of like love and like that foundation of like, okay, what do you gain being a hothead? What do I gain crashing out and smacking someone in the face?
Death or jail.
Death or jail.
That's really it.
A story to tell about for what? Like, it's going to be dead. Like, the story is going to be gone in, like, 2 days. And then what? Like, you don't gain nothing for... Yeah, so I don't know. It's a hard time that we're living in right now, but it's just all you can do is pray, I feel like.
Right.
Just God. That's what God is.
And that's the thing. So, Charleston White... He was talking about gang culture, and he was like, man, they're just a bunch of bullies. Yeah. Because if you really think about it, let's just say me and you would go to California and we're wearing something wrong. Yeah. What if we're there to push positivity, a part of a church, a part of an orphanage, foundation, or whatever, and now we are being subjugated as affiliates in some way, and then being taken advantage of if it gets to that point, or even assaulted. Yeah. And I feel like we, as a people, learned that from slavery. You had the separation between the colors, the lights and the darks. Yeah. But then you started having this segregation to where we started building with each other. Yeah. Okay, that was prosperous. But then the powers that are was like, oh, we probably don't fuck with that. Did you hear about the Tulsa bombing? Oh, that's cool. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it.
I'd heard about it, like... that it happened whenever like that's like on Black Wall Street on like one of the biggest streets like for black culture and stuff like that, and then next thing you know, so they bombed it and basically all that stuff just.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like another Emmett Till story where this individual was in the elevator with this white woman, and I guess she said he tried to do something to her, and they bombed the north side of Tulsa. But I say that to say. Black people have shown that we can prosper. Yeah. In sports, education, government now. Yeah. A lot of different things. Even in community. Like, Black Wall Street wasn't called Black Wall Street for no reason. Yeah. There was churches, doctors, food marts. Like, if you go to North Tulsa right now, they only have one grocery store. Yeah. Just one. But we had everything. Nigga, it looked like Monopoly over there. You feel me? Exactly. It was nice, but then again, it happens everywhere. But they're like, okay, well, let's start taking away the males. Yeah. And now you have women that are forced to raise lost children, especially if the children are older and now the father is removed. And then you add in drugs on top of that. Drugs brings in money. Yeah. Drugs brings in status, drugs brings in money, money brings in status, status brings in jealousy. Mm-hmm. So now you have all these people in the ghetto, one person has this, the other person have that, or now there's gangs because it's like, well, if they're not going to help us or if they way over there, like we're just going to fuck with us. Yeah. You start to see the domino effect that it has in the black psyche. Yeah. We start to see each other as an enemy and them as God. Yeah. I see a lot of videos on Facebook, and it's like black women yelling at black guys or whatever, and it's like, would you yell at a white man like that? Would you get all in a white man's face? Yeah. And it's like we get so, I don't even think it's fast. We start to see ourselves as second class at some point. Yeah. And that's go ahead.
No, you got it.
And that's why when we were talking the other day, I was like, man, that's why I believe that black people are the people in the Bible. Because if you read Deuteronomy 28, the curses that the Israelites would be put under is damn near verbatim what happened to us. Uh-huh. So in one of the verses, it says, you will go into Egypt again, this time on ships. Egypt was a bondage that the Israelites were in, as you know. But to go on ships, what people in history left a place on ship? I literally tried to look it up.
Yeah.
Because to go into Egypt, they walked out of Egypt, right? They would walk back into Egypt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And other things, your children will get sold. You will build up, but you won't reap. We built the White House, and only one half black dude was in there. They didn't even give a full nigga in there, right? And it starts to show, and then it says, of course, you'll hate yourself. Mother will hate daughter. Father will hate son. Things like that. You start to see. Man, I just saw a video of this girl beating up her grandmother because the grandmother was disrespecting the mom. And I'm just like, what in the world? And it shows how lost us as a race are. I'm not in school anymore.
You got it.
And it breaks me, but it also shows, or it gives me pride in us, because I start to see who we were, in the Bible. Like, we were a strong people. Of course we failed, but we had God. And even going through that tribulation, we still prospered. We still thrived. American culture is black culture. Yeah. Like, besides like fried food and obesity, like rap music, basketball, football, like, man, I was watching Rush Hour 3, I believe, and they were in France, and the guy was like, yeah, I think the dude was running up the stairs. She was like, move, Kobe. Like, you don't even know who Kobe is. But, he was black. But it's just, it's a sad thing, but also we get a glimpse of what it can be. Because of course you're getting these black businesses. You're starting to get black wealth and prosperity outside of sports and entertainment.
Yeah. And so that's another thing, like you said, like, because me sitting here, my parents came from Africa. My dad, he was an Olympic runner. He ran track, and he paved his own way up here. And then my mom, she came here with him, and then she paved her own way up here, and then, like, she got a good job up here, and, like, she's now nursing and stuff like that. And so, like, I was raised, like, just, like, kind of like just like African parents don't play. So like I was never doing stuff. Like I was doing stuff, but like it's because of my own like just dumb stuff. Like but like they raised me different, and like so I'll never judge anybody in their situation. Like you never know. Like they were just born there. Like they were placed there. Like some kids were just born Bloods because their dad was a Blood.
Right. Yeah.
Some kids were born Crips because their parents were Crips and family members were Crips, and that's all they saw. But it's like it doesn't have to be that way no more. There's so many ways to get money. Money is everywhere. Yeah.
But the easiest way is what they see. Yeah. So joining gangs, robbing people, selling drugs.
Well, and see, like, and the thing about gangs too is like there can be good in gangs too. Like it don't have to be. Like I see a movement. It's in South Dallas. It's called New Dallas, and like it's just a bunch of different members from different gangs, and they're all rapping, all making money. Yeah, they realize there's a lot of money to make, and if they join together, they all got it. Exactly. And so like it's like finding out that we're not each other's enemy, but we can all work together, and it's like not even just black people, everybody. We don't have to see the world as negative. I don't have to go outside and be like, look at that white boy. Like look how he dressed like a frat boy. Like I don't have to label him what he is or what he is. Like I don't have to look at a black guy with a ski mask and be like, look at that YN. Like like it could be a joke that could be funny and stuff like that, but I don't have to actually categorize those people because everyone's a person with the opportunity to be something. It's just how we use that opportunity. Everyone has 24 hours in their day. Everyone is able to be something, and it's how you use your 24 hours in that day where you will go. And it's like if we were to be able to teach each other, like, okay, yeah, you sell dope, I sell dope, da-da-da-da-da. I'm not promoting that at all. But, like, okay.
And we don't sell dope.
Yeah, we don't. We don't even know. Do. Like, nah, we don't that sell on the record. We don't sell no dope. But, like, it's like, we can make profit if we do it together. Like we could be better as one. So it's like, why do we have to fight against each other? And then it's like the little pettiness, like, why do I have to go shoot someone for stepping on my shoes? Why do I have to go shoot someone for calling me the B word?
the worst thing you can have is a trigger word. I found that out last year. I mean, I'm 22. Last year I was 21. Why do we have trigger words? It's just a word. Like, if I get so angry that I'm about to beat you up, you can call me a B word, and I don't do nothing about it, right? And I can let it resonate and sit in my mind for days on end. And next thing you know, you're living your life 10 seconds after, without even no bother. So why are we letting words get to us? Why are we letting little petty arguments get to us? Why are we letting girls get to us? Why are we letting men get to us? Like, why are we beefing over the stuff that don't matter? Like, if we seek something greater than us, which I'm not saying, I'm not going to force religion on people or nothing like that, but mine is Christianity, and I'm seeking God, and like he says that bear his fruit, and the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. If we all just have a little bit more patience, a little bit more kindness, a little bit more joy, how much positivity can the world really spread? Like, how good can the world really be if we all just take a little dive and just find something bigger than us and really go after it, instead of just trying to be prideful, be angry, and all that stuff. Your situation doesn't have to make you who you are.
Right.
You don't have to be your situation. You can be better than that. LeBron James, one parent household. He's I would think he's a billionaire, you know? Like, you know, and there's so many NBA players, so many NFL players, and then there's so many college athletes that are now NIL deals. There's so much money out there to grab. And it's just using your time and your effort to really go grab that money and be bigger than yourself. But it's how you use your time at the end of the day.
Yeah. And while you were saying that, I was thinking, I was like, of course, why can't we be happier, more loving, etc.? And I was thinking, I was like, well, it's easier to be mad. It's easier to hate on somebody. Yeah. Because now you're taking... I feel like if you try to be happy, you try to be patient, kind, loving, it takes effort.
Yeah.
You have to put in work. You have to put in whatever. But to be jealous or to be angry I feel like it flows like water.
Yeah.
If I see that you're faster than me, I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he so fucking fast?
Yeah.
Or if I was his size, I'd be faster than him. Exactly. It's like we're now it's on them. It's not on us anymore. And it's just easier, man. And like you were saying, you know, bear my fruit, but it's also like suffer daily. The long suffering that we have to go through to make it to the finish line sucks.
Yeah. And so yesterday I went to church and the preacher preached the devil is real.
Of course.
The devil is walking in real. He is a real, like, there's demons around the world that they're going to cause suffering. And the devil, what's said in the Bible, the devil comes to steal. Closer. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He's going to steal your happiness. He's going to steal your joy. He's going to kill your happiness. He's going to kill your joy. He's going to make you suffer. You know, but until you find something greater than you, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. He paid the ultimate price to set us free from that hold that the devil has. And so if you just accept him and be like, hey, I trust you. I trust him. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be all rainbows, happy, hee ha ha, sunshine, right? But it's that, like, what if I just every day choose to put my pride aside and be like, hey, I'm not going to be angry. What if today I walk in here and you're angry and you call me on the podcast, right? I could choose to be angry and make a scene and make it a big deal, or I could choose to be like, he might be having a bad day. What's going on? Yeah. How you doing? You know, and not take it personal. If we put our pride aside and we humble ourselves and become less of ourselves, then we can really just see that there is people going through things. And not every day is it, if someone's angry at you, is it because of you? There's those days that someone might just be really just coming at you, you know? But they could be just genuinely struggling with something within themselves that they're not speaking on.
And sometimes, man, when people think of possession, I feel, or like demon possession, I think they think of like the movies, like exorcisms and shit. Yeah. No, sometimes people have demons on them that it makes them seem like, why is this person always angry? Or why does my girlfriend always like cuss me out? Or why is she always disrespecting me? Like, I had to, with my son's mom, I was like, why is she so fucking, like, every time I'm around her, makes me not who I am. Yeah. I'm just like, that's some type of thing that's on her that is now ruining her life.
Yeah.
Or I'm not even gonna use her. I feel like I fuck with her a lot. But just individuals, like you see people that are dicks for no reason.
Yeah.
Or will if somebody accidentally steps on their shoe, it's a problem. Yeah. It's not in their right mind to do that. So to me, I feel like it's influenced by something darker.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't understand. They'll live their whole lives thinking that, oh, I'm just a Cancer, that's why I act this way. Yeah, exactly. Or I'm a Sagittarius. No, no. You're a fucking dick. Exactly. Have you ever thought about that?
Exactly. And that's crazy you bring that up because yesterday, too, at that same church, what's it called? It said, like, until you, I had posted on my Insta and stuff like that, until you call sin what it is and say sin is sin, you'll keep living it. You'll keep doing it. You're going to become okay with it.
Right.
If I go and say I'm just so angry and all this stuff because I'm a Cancer, no, God says in the Bible, anger is sin. Anger is sin. Like, it's a pride issue. It's a issue. Like, anger, anything angry, you should not have. Like, there's good anger, disciplinary anger. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can discipline, but like even it calls parents, don't discipline because of pride. Don't discipline because, oh, my son just proved me wrong. So now I'm gonna be like, don't talk back to your dad. You know,
my son's 5 years old, and I apologize to him if I do something wrong.
And that's real. That's real, and that's gonna show him that it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah,
it's okay to fail. It's okay to be wrong in some things, and just take it to the chin, apologize when you're wrong, and leave it be. But a lot of people have pride where they don't want to be wrong. I've had that pride where I don't want to be wrong, and then I just choose anger as in I'm gonna come at you now, I'm gonna disrespect you now. But what did I gain? Just some hurt hearts.
Right.
But then at the same time, I'm telling people I'm Christian and I hurt their heart.
Yeah.
How does that really help people and really guide people? So it's really just putting that pride aside and being like, or calling it what it is. Like, you're not a Cancer. You're a Cancer. Maybe you're a Cancer, all that stuff. But
you're a Cancer for real. You're fucking deadly.
But like, you know, like, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm always da-da-da-da, or this and that. Like, no, if it's leading you away and it's causing you different like anger and emotions that are not true to joy, peace, love, patience, call it what it is.
Yeah, man. And we get so accustomed to the sin. So I heard this poem on a song once. I think it's by Tupac's mom. But she says, oh, I just had it. Oh my goodness. The more we don't think about our oppression, the more our tolerance for it grows, basically. And same with sin. So, like I told you the other day, like I have a porn addiction, and it's been really difficult these last couple of weeks trying to stay free from that. And I started to think, I'm like, bro, like when I wasn't thinking about it, it was as if it was just like another activity or another thing that I've done. But now that I see it as wrong, it's now going against the grain or going against the current. It's easy to go downstream, but to walk up it to get to your destination, you're like, bro, I'd rather be somewhere I don't want to be if it causes me not to fucking struggle anymore. And we as a human race need to start understanding that some of these things that are fun, that are legal, like alcohol is legal, but people die of alcoholism. Families are torn apart every day.
Every day. God calls against drunkenness. And like it really is like blessings though. You come to that realization that you came from, oh, it's another daily thing, it's cool, whatever, like but now you've been awakened to the sin. Like you're open to the sin. Now you know what's wrong is wrong, right? And so now you can take those steps to be like, oh, okay, I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that. But yeah, no, sin leads to death always. Like it just everything leads to death at the end of the day.
And when we were talking the other day, and I was telling you that it's easy to be sinless. It really is. Because if sin leads to death, and if we keep doing sin, even though we ask for forgiveness, how long is that forgiveness going to last? Meaning we have to now have an other understanding of, okay, if sin leads to death, and if I keep doing this sin, and I'm going to have to find it for you, but it's basically said once you know something is a sin and you keep doing it, there's no forgiveness for that sin. And, oh my gosh. So, yes, there's no forgiveness for that sin, but now also it's like, okay, can we beat that sin? And the answer is yes. Of course, through Christ, all things are possible.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you the other day, how easy is it to respect your parents? Like the first 10 commandments. Love God with all your heart and mind. The second is as the first. Love your neighbor as yourself, etc. How hard is that? How hard is it not to look at porn? You don't have to type it in. Nobody's gun to your head.
Yeah.
You don't have to be wrathful. You don't have to be a glutton. You don't have to be a sloth. You don't have to be these things.
Yeah.
But we think, because of this new age way of preaching, we think because of Jesus dying, it's okay to keep doing these things. We're all sinners. I heard somebody said we're supposed to sin because of the repentance that we. No,
we're not supposed to sin. But yeah, even like you said, like Jesus came and died on the cross for us,
and he was sinless, right?
He was sinless,
and he was a man.
Yeah, but
he got tempted the way we got tempted, correct?
He was because he's a part of the Trinity: God the Son, God the Father, God the Holy Spirit.
I believe they're separate, but
yeah, I just like I don't even know like what's it called. I need to do more
for sure.
Deep diving into that part.
Well, in the Bible it says God created Jesus, and through Jesus all was created.
Yeah, and so like, but like he showed us though, it's not gonna be easy.
Right.
It's gonna be challenging. There's gonna be persecution. There's gonna be temptation, like you said. The devil is going to try to attack us in any and every which way. He'll attack our financials. He'll attack our job. He'll attack our family. He'll attack any which way. He'll place girls in your life just to distract you from your path with God. And when he sees you doing good, and so like that's why I think like also. It's hard not to sin just because of the way that the devil is always going to be attacking us and always going to be trying to pull us away. And by like that is like he's going to try to kill your joy.
Right.
So then it's going to be like you're going to question God, why? Why me?
For sure.
Why that? Why did this happen?
Right.
Or he's going to place a pretty girl that looks amazing right in front of you. And then it's like just even me thinking like, oh, odd hit. Right. That's a sin right there. And so it's like even just the thought of it. And so like that's why I believe that like we need God. We need God because if we were able to not sin almost, it's like why would we need God, you know? And that's why he made it to where like he showed us that we're going to have to come to him in order to live that good, peaceful life. And then that's why he also gave us Jesus to show, like, Jesus always had to, like, rely on God, always had to, like, remain faithful in order to bring others to Christ, in which we're called to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But that's also another thing, like, I still need to read more.
For sure.
Dive more
100%.
deeper into, like, I don't want to also say nothing wrong or mislead anybody into.
No, you don't have to think that. Yeah. Again, everyone do your own research. Yeah. Of course, I still don't know everything. Yeah. I don't even know a fraction of anything.
Yeah.
But my question to you: what was the penalty of adultery in the Old Testament?
The penalty of adultery in the Old Testament?
Mm-hmm. Having sex with another man's wife.
Wasn't it death?
You die.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think a lot of people had sex with somebody else's wife?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In the Old Testament?
Well, probably not.
They didn't. They didn't, right? But now, there's songs about it. I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip-flops.
It's right? Because we're not seeing the death.
For sure. But that's the thing. In the Old Testament, there was remission of sin through sacrifices. But things that led to death, we understood that because of God's word and God's faithfulness to us, and then the fear we have of him, we don't do these things. Yeah. We don't fear God no more. So it's not that it's hard because Satan is pulling us from him. We're walking away from God. Mm-hmm. In every example that you said, there's an option not to do it.
Yeah.
If there's a pretty girl, cool.
Yeah.
If there's some whatever, if there's some drugs on the table, either you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
If there's a naked girl in your bed, either you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
Right? And again, you have all these Christians saying, I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, or I'm baptized and the God's in me. In the Bible, people say, I'm filled with the Holy Spirit right now, so I cannot lie. The Holy Spirit does not allow you to do anything that goes against God's will. So if you're filled with the Holy Spirit and you sin, what does that mean? You don't have the Holy Spirit in you. Therefore, you don't even have Christ, so how can you do all things?
Yeah. But I also believe, too, like, not even the people that, like, as in, like, no, I don't even want to go in there. I don't even want to go into that. But like I can't say one person other than Jesus to come on this earth and be completely sinless.
It actually says in the Bible there's some people that were sinless.
Oh, well,
I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
So I need to.
I think Elijah was a man without sin, because he went to heaven without dying.
Really?
Yeah, came down on this because I think so. If I'm correct, Elijah was going against the other people. They were talking about their gods. And long story short, Elijah was like, all right, build an altar to your God, I'm gonna build an altar to mine. And whoever gods come down and destroy it is the true God. So they were cutting themselves, praying to their gods, etc., etc. Elijah's like, y'all niggas done.
Yeah.
And he wet his multiple times, prayed to God. He came down and destroyed everything. So Elijah was pretty gangster. But I think he was a man without sin, but I could be wrong. I'll look it up. I'll let you know.
We're gonna do our deep dives and stuff like that. But
that's the thing, man. It's of course Christ and God calls people that are sinners.
Yeah.
All of the disciples weren't probably good men. Yeah. One was a tax collector.
Yeah.
You break people's fingers that owes money.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's the beauty. A lot of people ask why God allows bad things to happen, and it's because we allow it to happen to ourselves, if you think about it.
Yeah, and it all just starts with square one with Adam and Eve whenever they ate the apple and brought the devil and broke the promise between God, and then from then on we're just sinners in need of a savior. And so the devil's always going to tempt us or bring us with temptations of things that look good, or bring us stuff that bring us joy that we may think that brings us joy, but it's part-time joy. And I can say that from me personally. I've tried to what's it called, live of the world completely, and like I always said I was Christian. I've always been Christian. I've always been raised Christian. I've always believed. But did I always act on it in the right way? No. Did I always act on it right? No. And still, as I'm growing with Christ, whenever he called me and he was, and I now said I surrender to you and I want to grow with you. There's still going to be temptation and all that stuff, but when I tell you that there's pure joy in my walk of life every day, I can walk with a smile. I don't have to go to a bar. I don't have to go party. I don't have to go hang out with friends. I can be in my room and be at peace and be happy with that stuff, because God will bring you pure joy if you allow him to work with you in your heart and work with just you as a person. Just let him follow you. I mean, you follow him and his guidance over your heart.
I agree. And a lot of people, it's the funny thing. I see a lot of people handing out like church flyers or Mormons and all this fun stuff. And when you really ask them things about Jesus, they have no idea who this man was. Yeah. If you think about it. There was times in the Bible that Jesus ignored people because he was on a mission. There was a time where he went into a shop and start flipping shit over and hitting people with whips and things of that nature, right? So this love and joy is a beautiful thing to have, but the ignorance of who Jesus really was, I feel like takes away from the fulfillment or all of it, all the things that Jesus is. And when we lack those things, we can't live our life as such. And I'm not saying ignore people because you're on a mission or hit people, but you got to understand this man was a man who had the divinity of God for sure. Yeah. But he feared the Most High because he knows that God is the creator of heaven and earth.
Yeah.
So when we go out and we try to be too loving to people or too understanding, we are now destroying ourselves and destroying their future.
Mm-hmm. No, and
right,
yeah.
and it's so frustrating because you have people mocking God in public.
Yeah.
David threw a rock at a nigga for talking about the Most High, right?
Yeah.
And we don't do that because we are watered down with love, respect, and be kind to other people, which is a thing, but it's like stick up for the Most High as if he was right next to you.
Yeah. And so that's like that anger that is righteous anger,
right?
Like you said, but like, yeah, no, that's what until we're able to really know that righteous anger, until we can really differ between righteous anger and just anger,
mm-hmm.
then that's like even me, like right now, like I know my anger is not good.
Yeah.
I know my anger is not good, and so that's why like I just am choosing love right now, like love and like peace, patience, kindness to people, because I feel like that's what he's calling me to do. And like everyone has their different callings in life.
Right.
I might be called to just love. And he might be called to be the one that has the righteous anger. And then someone else is called to do something different.
For sure.
And we're all blessed with different gifts.
Mm-hmm.
We all have different gifts that God's given us in our lives, whether it be the gift of just talking,
mm-hmm.
the gift of tongues, the gift of all these different gifts that he blesses us with. And so I just believe, like he's going to use everyone in their time accordingly to what gift he's given them.
Right.
That's
dope. Being a Christian and having foreign parents living in Texas. What was that like, man? Because that must have been different. Like, you don't have an accent, in my opinion. Nah. And I thought you would if you like your parents had accents. Your parents have accents?
Yeah, no, my parents. Hey, Jack, what are you doing? That's like, or like he got an accent.
Yeah.
Or like my mom, she can't really pronounce her R's really right. Like there's little words that like I pronounced wrong my whole life just because like they say it differently.
Yeah.
Like for all my life I thought bless you was bless you because they said bless you, like, so I went around saying bless you or like different things that I like. But really growing up Christian in Texas, my parents like baby dedication, they made sure like we were like they never forced anything upon us. Mm-hmm. Like they really like let us be free in every aspect of life. Like growing up, I was in like Bible competitions, so like I have like little trophies. Like I used to like be able to recite all these verses and like know like the Bible, this and that. Like I knew all that stuff, but that was just by me. Like my parents like encouraged it, but they wanted us to do that stuff. They kept us around in the church, and they always made sure that we were doing good and we were straight.
Right.
But then it got to a point whenever I was like, Missouri, I was doing all the way good up until like Texas. And then that's whenever everything flipped the script, because the school I went to, hey, anyone from OD can say this. 8th grade, my class at least, there was fights 24/7.
Okay, so like, you were in Missouri first, then Texas?
So I was born in Tulsa, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born in Tulsa, and then we moved to Missouri, but Texas, we lived there for like 13, 14 years.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's like, that's all I know is like Texas. So basically like, yeah, there was fights every day. So it was like you had to get accustomed to it. Then I was like, in 8th grade, I was young, so all I really saw was like white folks around me. The middle school I went to was like 5, 6 black kids in the school, and like not many other races. It was mainly white. And so whenever I moved to Texas, the first store I went to is HEB. HEB, well, they got like fresh tortillas, all this stuff. When I tell you I've never seen that many Hispanic people in my life, I literally asked my dad, I was like, Dad, are we in Mexico? Because I thought I was going to see hillbillies and cowboys and cactuses and hay barrel. Like, no, it was not that. It was like, and so
did y'all go a little bit too to the south, bro?
I did not know that Texas was like that. But like, so growing up in Texas, then like, I got more cultured. So then like, I started being more social. Like moving around a lot made me have to talk to make friends. So I then ended up with more and more friends. And so then like, then I was doing more and more stuff. And not everything that I was doing was good. And so then I had the friends that we would go to church, and I was like a youth leader at one point, and I was doing stuff with the church. and we would do Bible studies and all that stuff. But then I had also friends that me and them would go do other stuff. And so then, like, it was what's it called? I'll say it was they always tried to keep us aligned. They always try to keep us on track, and they always try to keep us doing what we're supposed to, and they made sure we were. Like, they were like, oh, come back at this time. And I was like a sophomore in high school. I was like, 12 o'clock? 12 o'clock? What do you mean 12 o'clock? And then, like, it's like, I was really, I graduated at 17, so sophomore year I was like 14, like, no, 15 or something like that, 16, 17. So, I didn't have a car till late. So then, like, my friends would have to pick me up. So I'm like, how am I supposed to come back if we're at their house with all my friends there? Are they going to leave their house and drop me off, like, with all the people? Like, are we just going to stop it? So then, like, slowly but surely, then I started pushing my time back to come back home. So then it was, like, 12, come back 12:30. 12, come back 1. 1, come back 2.
Ooh. 2. And think by 12 o'clock, I'm tired.
I started being nocturnal. So then the more and more, like, I would go out later and later. Then, like, they would just be like, we're going to leave the keys at home. We're going to leave the keys on the thing. And they were never, like, helicopter parents and hopefully they don't see this because they don't know what locations is and nothing like that. And so, like, they didn't have our lows. They really just trusted that we would tell them where we're going. And, like, and so I condemn them for that because they really let us grow up to be, like, know right from wrong because they didn't make us, like, be like, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. They didn't, like, control us. They made us make our own mistakes. Yeah. And so it was good having them in our life. And now, I mean, I thank them because now coming back to Christ in the right way, it feels, like, good. And it feels like all the stuff that they've done, like, they've always sent money back home to, like, my relatives and, like, out their checks and stuff like that. And so, like, now, like, they've given me a heart of giving and stuff like that. And, like, wanting to give back to people around, like, that are, like, less in need because, like, my cousins back there don't have it like that and stuff like that. So they've always, like, they're selfless. So, like, I think the African culture really has helped me understand that, like, America is an opportunity. And I have a bunch of relatives that would love this opportunity. And if I take it for granted every day and I'm going to do stuff and risking my life going out with friends and stuff like that, people that don't care about me, really, what have I gained? Mm-hmm. Parents that love me, then next thing you know, Jack was shot at the bar selling dope. Right. Like, they're going to be like, Jack? Selling drugs? Jack? Like, you know, like, and it's like, why would I want to leave my parents with that? Yeah. You know, but yeah.
And see, and that's the cool thing about who you are. It's you understood you're representing your parents. Yeah. But you're also giving them a sense of security with being the man that you are. But on the flip side of what can happen, and I've seen it countless times. I grew up similar to you. My parents are all from here, of course, but we lived in a ghetto, and the church that I attended was in the middle of the ghetto. So it was surrounded by 3 different apartment complexes, right, and then the church was right behind the school. But of course, we'd go to church Sunday and Wednesday. You play your part, meaning you praise God, you sing the songs, you act nice in front of the white people, and then when you leave, you just do what you do. Yeah. And I see where parents are not saying your parents were disconnected, but when you're giving kids, so middle schoolers or high schoolers, the freedom to just be out. Yeah. Shit happens. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Teenagers, I don't care, from 17 all the way down. You shouldn't be outside at 12, 1, 3 o'clock in the morning because that's in those areas are when the monsters come out. Yeah. It's when the bad people come out. Yeah. Even though, of course, they're in the daytime, but what are you going to do as a high schooler when a grown-ass man who's probably been to jail or strong as fuck, what is he going to do when he looks at you and be like, where are you from? Yeah. And you're like, bro, I'm just a high school. No, you're a man to him now. Yeah. You feel me? And with my son, it terrifies me that one day he's going to get his heart broken by a woman. Yeah. Or one day he's going to feel rejected or not loved by somebody. And that sucks. But what I can do is give him tools and things like your parents did with you to navigate through this world, but also because I know keep him safe at certain things. Why would you go on this side of town, Elijah?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be out at 12? What the fuck is happening? Nothing's open.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and putting in his mind that being curious doesn't lead to anything cool, man.
Yeah.
What's there at midnight that's not there at 8 a.m. in the morning?
No,
you feel
nothing.
me?
Yeah,
the bitches, like, if the bitch is not up at 8 o'clock in the morning, then you're messing around with the wrong girls. Go find a girl that's at the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning, Elijah. Yeah. Or find a girl who is working and studying to be like things like that. There's nothing in the dark land, Simba. Yes. Everything the light touches is ours.
Yeah,
but over there it's
nothing. Yeah.
Go over there, man. Because there's nothing for
good out there. It's nothing good out there. My parents every day, like, say if I go to the gym later or something like that. Now I'm an amazing kid. Like, all I do is go to the gym, mom and dad. So y'all should be happy. But what's it called? Like, they always tell me, like, nothing good happens in the darkness.
Yeah.
Like, nothing good happens at nighttime. There's drunk drivers. Why are we driving at that time? There's so many innocent lives. 9 times out of 10, I see it. The city of Odessa, there's so many drunk drivers, like so many killings, so many car accidents and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, the drunk driver survives.
Yeah.
You can be doing everything right and still lose your life because of just someone else's like flaws and stuff like that. Yeah. Or I mean like we were talking about bars and stuff like that. So many times maybe I'm not the reason why we're fighting, but next thing you know, I'm just wanting to help my friend because I'm not gonna let my friend get beat up, and then poo.
Right.
What happens then? What happens then? What you died
for nothing.
For nothing. You died because someone stepped on someone's shoes. You know, and so like nothing good happens at nighttime. And more I start to realize that because also at nighttime it's like a lot of the friends that you want to prove that like something to at that time aren't going to be there with you during the hard times. Like I said, beginning of the podcast, I had someone pass away this past week. There's people that know about it. You know, there's friends that I've told about it. Mm-hmm. How many of them have checked, you know? But whenever I say, oh, I'm going to a girl's house, how was it? They spamming my phone, da-da-da-da. Or like there's people that know that, what's it called? She passed away, nobody check on them or whatever. It's not like she was dearly like close to me, but she was dearly close to my family and just me actually. Yeah, right. She was a lot of joy and everything like that. And so like, what would I say? If I'm going to the bars, yeah. Like if I go to the bars, they're gonna be like, "Hey, how was the bar last night?" But did y'all check for the past month how I was doing mentally?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all check for the past 2 months how I was doing mentally? But those are the same friends that you're risking your life for. You really got to decide who is supposed to be in your corner and who's not. God says in the Bible, cut off your right hand if it's causing you to sin. Now, I'm not saying literally just go and chop off your right hand. Figuratively. But it's figuratively. Like, it's not a bad thing to cut off a friend if they're not helping you in the right direction to grow. It's not a bad thing to cut off a family member if it's not causing you to grow in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, people can lead you to death.
100%.
People can lead you to astray.
Because they have those demons on them, man. I swear, the crash out friends. The niggas who always want to bring a gun with them, whatever. Like, bro, like, that's not, like NBA Youngboy, there's niggas like that for real. Just just weird and crash out. Like, there's no way that's a normal behavior.
And it's not supposed to be either. But there's also those people, though, that have had to grow up like that, too. And it's the crazy thing, like, they had to grow up like that. But then, like, what if we just all started change, right? What if we all just started, hey, let's just put our pride aside. What if we do like South Dallas did, New Dallas, New Tulsa, and we all try to make money together, right? Imagine there's less guns than needed. Why am I carrying my gun? I can walk around this hood safely.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk on this street safely knowing that I'm not doing nothing. Now, I'm not saying go walk in the hood and be disrespectful and all that stuff and think nothing's going to happen. There's also, there's respect. There still needs to lay a respect thing. But if we all just respect each other and all that stuff, there wouldn't be a need to prove something. If we all just put our pride aside, there wouldn't be a need to prove something, need to carry it on you all the time. Like, yeah. And then those demons too. Like, you just also gotta really have discernment. Some people really just.
Some people are just lost. Yeah, some people, like, that's the thing. There's people that are destined for hell. There's people that are destined for heaven. Yeah. That's it. Like, I don't care how much you want to save everybody or love everybody. Not everybody's going to heaven.
Not everyone's going to. I mean, Jesus was the perfect example. Not everyone listened to Jesus. Jesus was literally doing miracles in people's faces. Turning water into wine. This nigga lying. Like, turning water into wine. Giving the bread, turning the two loaves of bread into like the thousands and feeding the thousands of people with fish. And people still were like, no, Cap. Show me something else.
Yeah, that blows my mind. Like, how is this? I try to think about that so many times. Like, imagine ripping off a piece of bread and then still the link that I don't know, man.
And still being like, hey, he don't exist. So there's those people that you just will not listen. They do not want to be saved. But then there's those people that, there's those days that, like, maybe I seem like that person to someone. Maybe I seem like, oh, I'm trying to draw Jack near. Mm-hmm. But there's those people that stayed. And those I wasn't a nuisance to some people's lives. But, they stayed and they poured into my, like, heart. And they gave their fruits to me. And it opened my eyes. Right. And it was like, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. I need to be better for the people around me. Mm-hmm. I need to go back to my roots. And I need to find God. And I need to seek God. And I need to find pure joy. And when I tell you it's pure joy, it's just the beginning of the journey. But you'll see things that you never even, like, thought you could do. You'll do things that you never thought you can do. Like procrastination, that's a sin. So when you take away that sin and you just be like, I don't want to procrastinate anymore. I'm not going to set this aside. You'll see more growth in your life. You'll see prosperity, and it's not going to come within like that. It's not going to always be money. It's not going to, you're going to bear some, like, I didn't get richer.
Right. And we're both examples, man. Yeah. Like, we're both athletes. Yeah. You ran track. Yeah. I lost a lot of weight boxing. So it's like
You're a boxer. You're a boxer. Oh. You've been doing it since like
allegedly.
You're a boxer. Soon to be one.
Yeah, man. He hits hard as fuck. I've never sparred with him, but he sparred somebody I knew. Hitting him hard as fuck. I was like, damn. So yeah, look, I'm good. I'm good watching. But yeah, it's that discipline that we have, man, that has now opened our eyes to what we can have. Like you said, you're a track athlete. You have your own brand. You have different things. You're in banking, like different things going on for yourself because Jack's doing it for himself. No. Right? And people don't understand that, and that's where they get led astray. They get comfortable with leaning on somebody or leaning on the government, and then when that crutch is taken away, you fall. Yeah. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
And even bigger than that, like now, a lot of the things too, I was doing just solely for myself, right? But then it's also doing it for a bigger picture now. God. Like bring more people to his kingdom. Right. The lady that passed away really opened my eyes, right? Mm-hmm. This lady was the most sweetest, most genuine, most kind, most joyful person. Her marriage and her relationship and like with anyone in life exalted God. It showed God. And nobody on this earth can say anything else but that she was a joyful person. Like no one, like her husband was like, so many people have came and just said how nice and peaceful and kind she is. Because that's who, like, she did it for God, right. His glory, to bring more people to his kingdom. And this podcast, me on this right now, all glory to be to God. 100%. Because that conversation, I could have just hopped in the ring that day, done my little stuff, walked out. You could have done that same thing too. No. Hey, what's your name? My name's Jack. What's your name? Yeah. You're in that gym, right? And there's people in that gym that are tough, you know. They what's it called? No words. They know the stuff, right?
And that's like there's days where I just do my workout and leave, but that's for I don't know. Yeah. It's just sometimes, especially of course you were new and stuff, and I haven't seen you, but I always try to at least just show some type of respect because. In my opinion, if I'm able to control my environment, I now control reality or I control interactions, right? Like you said, if you lead with love, positivity, and peace, sometimes people will be like, oh fuck, now I got a match suit, because if I'm a dick, people are gonna be like, why are you being the dick? But he's just he's being nice to you.
Exactly.
Of course there are people who will be dicks, but yeah, it's just, or like if there's a group of whoever, you just, hey fellas, what's up guys, like they probably say, nigga, fuck you. Like it's just, but if you show like, oh, he's not timid, or he's that's, I don't know. When there was this girl who told me, she was like, man, when you walked in and you came to talk to us, we felt like the masculine energy coming from you. And that to me is something that I always strive to have once I started trying to be better. And to hear that, it's like, well, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, and like easily, like, and so I wasn't gonna even condemn you about that. It's like easily you could be like, what am I? Like, I'm trying not to cuss, so what am I? And where, you know, like, and all that stuff. And like, what's it called? You could be like, what up? Like, you know, and greet me differently. The way he greets, the way he talks, what's up, buddy? It gives, like, even as a man, it gives me like there's a sense of like I don't know, like a peace.
You don't have to be on guard, bro.
Like, you know, like you just like that's just like so genuine, you know. And like even like there was one time, my brother, he just like that. He's like really sweet, nice, kind, and all that stuff. And he does a thing whenever he meets someone. He goes, it's a pleasure to meet you. And whenever I was like lost a little bit, I was just like, why you do that? Like, be like, good to meet you, da 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 da. Like, you know, just cut it short. Like, no one, no, like, you know, not everyone deserves a pleasure to meet you, you know. But then I realized, God blessed him with that kindness. God blessed you with that kindness. The ability to be that joy that touches the people like me at that time that were just so angry at the heart, and so like. So just like defensive and all that stuff, and being able to be like, pleasure to meet you. It was a pleasure to meet you. Yeah. I got to meet someone new, you know, like, and so like, it's just being yourself and being authentically you. And that's like, even how you brought up the brand, the whole purpose of it, be authentically you, be you, just be unembarrassed about it. You're unembarrassed about the you are, and you're growing. You got, like you said, you know what's wrong. You're starting to see what's wrong. Now you're not going downstream, you're going upstream. Yeah. You know?
And it's easier. You get tougher, you get stronger, you get able to go through it. Like there was a time where I had to make my boxing workout more, or make it harder, because it was easy to me at a certain point. Exactly. Like I used to do 12 rounds, 2 minutes each with like a minute rest. Yeah. I knocked it down to 30 seconds. And now I'm at 15 seconds. Yeah, see? Right? And it's just like, this shit is getting... The 15 seconds is killing me. I am like, I need oxygen. But it's like, the more we lay in the garden of the Most High, the more fruit and the more nutrients that is getting absorbed into our bodies. Exactly. We now have this armor of God to where we are tackling and defeating the sinful nature of the world. Yeah. Right? There was a time, because I've been struggling with the porn addiction for a long time, and there was a time where I was doing great. And you start to see like it gets easier over time. I mean, in whatever you want to do, it gets easier in time, and we start to look at our progress, not more so anymore day by day, but now month by month, or year by year. If I was to look at myself every time I'd go to the gym, and that's why I had to stop taking pictures, because I used to do my workout and then take a picture every day. Yeah. But eventually I stopped seeing the progress in my eyes, and I'm like, bro, this is fucking with me. Like I'm not giving myself the credit. But I had to remind myself, like, Julian, you're literally seeing yourself every day. Give it a month. Give it 2 months. Like, start looking at it as, when this day happens, the accumulation of days just turns, let's just say 1 pound. 30 days accumulates to 1 pound. Let's just say that. Instead of every day you're looking at it, 1%, 2%. Exactly, and it's like, you're not seeing the percentage, but when you give yourself that distance, or that time alone, then you start to see the progress. And when the thing with addiction, when you start to give yourself different outlets, or like you really helped me with this when you were like, I prayed before so and so came up.
Yeah.
So there would be times I'm like, thank you God for this day.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling these urges, and it's just a reminder that, oh well, you don't have to do these things.
Yeah.
God's here. You feel me? And that's why. So in Leviticus, it tells the Israelites to have fringes on their shirts. I don't know if you saw any of mine, but basically they're tassels with a blue ribbon around it. And it is for us to look down and remind ourselves of God's blessings and his commandments and things like that.
That's big.
So,
steal that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll show you some of the shirts as well. But there'd be times where I would like just rub it, the fringe or whatever, and it would just remind me of God's like blessings. And I found myself doing that today, because there was a lot of ass at Planet Fitness today, man. And I'm admiring. Okay, I can admire. You feel me? But it just reminded myself that, man, yeah, God made. If God made anything better, He kept it to Himself. The black woman is amazing. But yeah, man, it's just it gets easier over time, and it's a beautiful thing that with you. Over time, you started to find your own way back to Him. You feel me? And that's I don't know if it's in the Bible or not, but I heard that once you come to the realization of who God is, it's hard to forget who He is.
Exactly. And that's like another thing. Like, I feel like when you don't even realize it, but He's constantly calling you back. He's constantly pulling at your heart. He's constantly calling you as His children, and He always wants a relationship with you. And so then, like, all my life, I didn't even see it. But now I'm looking back, like, there's certain things that in life, like, maybe I shouldn't be here right now. Maybe this and this should happen, you know?
Just how safe I was. And how dangerous places I've been.
Exactly. Or, like, I didn't go to this party and got shot up. Man, that was lucky by me. No, it wasn't luck. It was God. It was God saying, my child, I'm with you. My child, I'm protecting you. But I didn't see it like that. But then now it's like He protected me all this time. He was with me all this time. Even whenever I was betraying Him. Even when I was hurting Him. Because sin hurts God. And so even when I was hurting Him, even when I was disobeying Him and saying, I want to do it my way, forget your way, God.
Right.
He was still calling us, and that's what makes Him so perfect, and that's what makes Him so good, is His forgiveness for us. And so, yeah, no, it's crazy to think about, but He's always there with us, no matter what the situation is, no matter where we are, even whenever our back's against the wall. You can still lean on Him in when you're afraid. There's no need to be afraid, because there is fear, you know. I mean, if someone had a gun to my head, I'm still gonna be scared. But it's just no need to be afraid in those situations, knowing that God is there with you. But also don't put yourself in situations thinking that, I'm not going to go wearing a certain color in some neighborhood, throwing up opposite gang signs, and think I'm straight.
Because of God, I am good.
It takes common sense too. But just knowing that God, your steps in knowing that, okay, this is for God. This is God. What God's telling me, I should be here.
Yeah.
I want to do something with homeless people. I should be there. He's going to protect me. He's gonna be with our situation
for sure.
And even praying I like someone. His name's Benji. He's a big videographer in Tulsa. He got good work. So anyone watching and needs a videographer, go check him out.
Shout out Benji.
Yeah, but he put me on one time. It was whenever I first moved to Tulsa, and I wanted to start the brand. Didn't know what I was really getting into, and I was texting him, and I was like, "Let's go get lunch." Before I even knew, bro. And
how'd you meet him?
I just saw him on Instagram. It just popped up, and I was like, "Yeah." I would send him a text. I don't really care about if they text back, they text back. If they don't, they don't. But thankfully, he texts back, and I stole that from him. But when we sat down, he was like, "Before we even talk any business, before we do anything, let's pray." And I was like. And so, I'm an inquisitive person. I'm going to ask questions if I, wonder. So I was like, I really like that you did that, but, how come you do that? And he was like, I just learned, God just told me, every time, no matter who's there, I have, gay friends. I have this friend. Da 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 da. But if I'm gonna work with them, I'm gonna pray over it. And 9 times out of 10, they join in. Whether or not they believe or not, they join in. Just a respecting. And it's like that little act is pouring into those people's lives.
Right. And it's giving glory to God.
And giving glory to God for your
100%.
situation. Like, no matter how big or small, you got to give God the glory for the little successes to rise in the big successes. If he knows that you're going to celebrate without him, if you win, if you're down, and you're like, you can't just use God, in a sense. Like, you can't just be waiting to make a come up and then be like, God, bye. Like, like, give God the glory through every season, through every step of the way, no matter even if you're up or you're down. Giving God the glory is important because he sees and knows how you'll react whenever you get the money. He knows if my brand blows up, if I'm going to do this or if I'm going to go do that. Mm-hmm. And how am I going to ask for blessings from him if he knows that whenever I'm there, I'm going to forget about him.
Right.
I'm just with him because I'm down,
And sometimes, man, or not even sometimes, people don't understand. The Most High gave Satan dominion over the earth.
Yeah.
Satan can bless you as well. He can give you anything
you want.
He even came to Jesus and said, "Look, all that I can give you.
Anything on this earth
Anything.
You want. Anything
It's yours.
On this earth.
Just bow down to me and forget the Most High." Bro was like, first of all.
It's like,
man.
And it's like, but like, this earth is just so short. It's like, there's people, there's those kids. My condolences to anyone who's lost family members in any plane crashes recently or anything of that nature. Mm-hmm. But some of those people that died on that crash are little kids. Their life has stopped. They will never reach the age of 22.
Right.
And there's many people that today is their very last day on this earth without even knowing it. No one plans to die, but it's going to happen, regardless of whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what mark do you want to leave on this earth?
Right.
And like, her name was Mrs. Turnbull, but like, I live like Mrs. Turnbull. The mark that she left on this earth of just pure joy, peace, like just kindness and all that stuff, who wouldn't want to leave that?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, Abraham Lincoln was one of the first presidents. Like, he was like, what, number 3?
16.
Oh. See, school don't really do much for you. I know, but like, less and less, he's getting talked about. Mm-hmm. Rosa Parks, more and more, less and less, she's getting talked about. A lot of people who've made big impacts on this earth are getting talked about less and less. Mm-hmm. But so
that's why it's up to us as people to remind our children of these things, because the new school curriculum they're going to stop this. And I think they was talking about like the Pilgrims and Native Americans. They changed the whole history of that, or they're trying to take away Black History Month, like things like that. And if you don't remember the past, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
But we have to. It's on us. It's not on the school system to teach our children shit.
Yeah.
Right? How is the school system going to teach my son to be proud that he's Black?
Yeah.
How is the school system going to teach him to love the Most High the way that I pray to God all the time? Because, like I said, my son's going to be 5. Yeah. I pray, God, show me when is the right time to actually start showing my son who you are.
Yeah.
Of course, almost every day I tell him, thank you, tell God thank you for this day. Things like that. Yeah. But eventually he's going to start asking questions. He's going to start having his own ideas, his own beliefs. And it's up to me to to plant the seed and now nurture it to where it starts to bear fruit, but now give the garden over to him, which is himself.
Yeah, and lead him in the right direction.
Exactly.
And so, that's like, basically that. Like I was saying, we're all going to be forgotten.
Right.
We're all going to be forgotten. So what mark do you want to leave on this earth? How many seeds are you going to sow? Mm-hmm. How many trees are you going to plant in people's life? Like, I could go every day and just be selfish about myself and go make a bunch of money, but either way, I'm still going to die, and that money's still going to be on this earth.
Right.
Just for someone else to go get.
Man, it puts in, like, to me, in perspective, my grandmother, when she talks about when she was in school and when she was a little girl, and I look at her and I'm like, yeah, you were a baby at one point. You were a kid. You did go through high school. You did go through 20s and 30s. And it's like how fast life moves forward. Yeah. And like I'm already like it feels like I blinked and I'm 26. Even though I have the memories of everything, life goes on.
Life goes on.
And I tell people I want to get to a point to where I live so long I'm just ready to die. Yeah. Like I accomplished everything. I want to accomplish everything. I think we talked about it, but I have a saying, don't be afraid of dying young. Be afraid of living a long life and accomplishing nothing.
Yep, that's a big that's
because all these people you see out here that are old still on drugs, the only mark they have is what we see from them, and that's nobody's.
Exactly.
Even though they could have been doctor, and it's not a funny story, but it relates to this. Mm. So I was scrolling on YouTube Shorts or whatever, and as you can see, I'm a big anime and comic book fan and shit. But there was a story that Thanos, every year on this dude's birthday, he would show up just to cause him hell. Like one time he showed up and poisoned the punch, and everybody at the birthday party died. But
I remember. Yeah. I know that story.
And then at the end, there was this girl, or actually, there was this old woman. Thanos helped her across the street, and it was like, oh, we think Thanos did a good job or a good deed. Not really. He purposely did that to hold up the train, because the train was going. The lady on the train was going to meet another woman, and she was going to be inspired to cure cancer, but they never met. So she just lived her life just doing whatever. And then on her deathbed, Thanos showed up and showed her who she would have been if he didn't do that. Yeah. And she was crying. But that's the thing with us. If we can see what we could have been, we'd be ashamed of the people that we are.
Yeah, and it's really just taking out procrastination, taking out fear, taking out. God will pray for a spirit of no fear. Pray for a spirit of doubt. The devil will place doubt in your heart. He'll place all these things. Tell you you're not good enough for your ideas. Tell you can't make it. It's gonna come hard days in life. There's 100%. Gonna be hard days, and it's easy to look at those people on drugs out there and stuff like that and judge them and be like, hey, you're on drugs. What did you do with your life, right?
Yeah.
But as Christians, we're called to be different than that. I can go judge him about that, or I can give him love, joy, peace, patience. I can go pour that stuff in his life and show him the goodness of God and change his day. Whether or not he accepts God because of that, that's all up to him.
Yeah.
But I can go outpour. I can go reach people. What mark do you want to leave with your life? Do you want to live a life of just making money and die and you're nothing, or live a life of just, like I said, sowing seeds in people's life, helping people, and being bigger? What are you going to do with that money?
Right.
Are you going to be selfish with your money? Are you going to just keep it to yourself? I mean, the Bible says tithe 10%. Tithing isn't just to the church. You can tithe your time, but you can also tithe your money to the homeless. You can tithe to other things like that. You're supposed to what's it called? To go, as Christians, we're called to seek and save the lost. And we're supposed to go help others in need. We're supposed to go make relationships and be those people that are positive and world leaders and changers and change the world and stuff like that. But if we're selfish, if we're prideful, if we bear anger, if we're living of this world, it's really hard for us to see that thing. And then life then sucks. I'm not saying that life is going to be perfect.
Right.
Like you said, every day there's going to be sucky days. There's going to be that just trash. But if you really just, I don't know, it's
perspective.
Yeah, perspective of how you view life.
There's this man who I really looked up to when I was younger in the church, and he was like, Julian, life is perspective. You have the option to look at it poorly. You have an option to look at it in a good light. And again, that's going to be hard. Today, all my family could die. It's possible. Mm-hmm. They all can be in the car going somewhere and die. Mm-hmm. Right? Easy. How is it easy to be happy about that? And it's not.
It's never going to be.
But what that time is meant for is to now put that burden into the Most High and said, well, thank you for the time I had with them. Thank you for keeping me alive. You know, what are you trying to show? And that shit sucks. There's children who are dying from cancer today. Yeah. There is children being forced to have sex today. Yeah. Why?
And it's really hard for them to be like, what good is there?
Exactly.
Like how can that be? But it's because, like you said, the devil has dominion over this earth. There's evil people. There's evil things going on this earth. And it's like, until we seek God, until we put God first, even as a people, as a Planet Fitness, as a HAC Athletics, as a just Oral Roberts, as anywhere, until we all do that, there's still gonna be evil. There's still gonna be evil, right?
Yeah.
But we can band together as a people to see the good, see the better, provide that peace, provide that patience, be there for someone in case that is happening.
Yeah, because eventually, if you read Revelations, people are going to be judged. And that's the thing. People talk about, oh, these people are going to start World War III. They're going to put us in cages and shit like that. If the only thing they can take is your life, stop being afraid.
They're going to be
because eventually, bro, they're like
everyone at the end of the day, when you die, you're going to have to be judged for the sins and decisions you've made in your life.
Right, good or bad.
And what you've done in your life is basically like what you said. You're going to see all the things that you could have been. You're going to think about all the things you could have done. But hey, what JB say? Too late now to say sorry. Like, it's too late then to say sorry. It's not. There's nothing you can do, and that's what made me the most afraid. And like, I used to fear death because I knew as a Christian, I was living of the world.
That's the same, brother.
And so like I was like, bro, if I die today, where am I going? Right. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, if I die today, like, you know. But like, it's the thing. Like now, it's like, why fear death? It's going to come regardless. All I can do is just use my time on this earth to go seek and save the lost, go learn more, go understand more of His gospel, go understand the fruits of His Spirit, go understand what He is trying to make me be, and be the best, and use the gift that He's given me.
Right.
Whatever that gift is, find out the gift and grow and learn, and only just grow with my relationship with Him, because it's a relationship.
Yeah.
And so.
All right, well, a couple more things, and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about boxing. And I know we said you were a track athlete, but I don't like fast individuals, man, because I'm not fast, okay? So, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about something we're both good at.
Yeah.
And that is boxing.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, man? And are you liking it? Like, tell me your journey in that.
So, basically, like 2 years ago, before I transferred here, I had a coach. We did it a couple times over the summers, but he would train me I would go like hit the bag like with him, not bag, but like 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1.
Mitts.
Yeah, mitts. Yeah. So I'll do that, and I always liked it. So then I like had the basics down basically, and then stopped doing it because of track. Was focused on track, but then this year really, I was like, what is track doing for me? I'm about to graduate college, and I do not want to be lost.
At 22?
Yeah.
That's gangster. Shout out to you, man.
Appreciate it. And so, I'm about to be done with college this semester. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Like, what is life? And so then I ended up deciding, and me and the coaches decided that it's just best that it's not like I'm like quit or nothing like that, but it's just like we not competing this year. Like I'm not competing.
What is after college track? Like is there a team or something? Like
so you just have to be that good. Like you have to be a pro. Like you have to go pro, and then like it's basically like boxing. Like it's like
so there's track meets throughout the year type shit.
Yeah. Okay. So like world class athletes will compete constantly. Like there's been like track meets that we go to, and there's like you can go and attach to any meet you want. Like, you could go to sign up for a meet and run. Like,
really?
But yeah. So, like,
like is there fat people meets? Because I could be a fast person.
And so, like, yeah, we've competed against, like, there's been, like, Olympians. Like, I remember at Arkansas, whenever we were competing, there was a woman Olympic runner, Tara Davis. She won gold at the Olympics this year, but she was at the Arkansas meet that we competed at. So it's like they compete constantly, but the big prize is like Olympics. But then it's like the World Championship meets, like you win like $60,000 for the meet, but like that's one track meet, a year. So like it's like, and
you
that's
have to have a
win,
job or
and
like
you have to win too.
And
like that's winner $60,000. So if you don't win, you going home empty-handed.
Oh.
And so like you have to have sponsorships. It's really like, I feel like track is a harder sport to make money.
Yeah.
And track has NIL deals just like football, just like basketball. But the highest one is like a high school right now, and he's Quincy Wilson. He's like $4.1 million or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but like that's the highest that you've heard of for track NILs. Yeah. Right now, like I think Arch Manning making like triple that, like, and all that stuff. So that's what made me realize track's not forever. But then in November, shout out to Dane Boswell. He boxed up at HAC too. He had been posting about it, and I was always like had an itch for boxing. I always liked boxing, and then plus my worldly life, I did like to like
the fights.
Like, yeah, so.
See, I never liked to fight.
Really?
Yeah, I was always, because I was so big and everybody else around me was small. I don't know. I didn't like physical. And see, that's the thing about being raised by women. They don't teach you how to be tough. Love your little black boys, okay? Teach them how to fight.
Yeah. Nah, that little kill switch, like that switch just like would snap off. Like it's like I could be chilling. Someone just say something about my brother that's sideways. Okay, what's up? Like it was just ready to go. Mm-hmm. And like any time. But basically I was like, why not just start boxing and just get good at it and just do for fun? And then like at first, like I don't know, I just kind of like wanted to have and just do it for fun. But now I'm like, I want to go actually amateur and stuff like that. But it's been nice. I've done it for like, now I think this is month 5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so 5 months. Shout out to Coach Sam. He a great coach, great person, just a real personable person. And it's a great time. Like we can have real conversations in between sparring, you know. Like I mean, hitting the mitts and stuff like that. He's a great coach, so I really enjoy it. But what about you?
Yeah, so back in high school, I'm not sure if it was junior or senior year. I feel like it was senior year. Me and my friends were downtown. I forgot what we were doing. But, actually, no. I think, okay, a little bit before this. So, for some reason, boxing started becoming interesting when I would see it on TV. Of course, everybody knew who Floyd was. Everybody knew who Muhammad, Tyson, etc. And I was looking up boxing places in Tulsa, and I found the Title Boxing. Mm-hmm. They had one free class. And it was more of like exercise boxing. It wasn't like learning fundamentals and things like that. But when I went there, I did their class, and the lady was like, "Oh, you're decent, or you're good. Have you fought before?" I was like, "No, whatever." And I was like, okay. It was kind of too expensive as well, but I was like, nah, I don't want to. I actually want to compete. Yeah. And which is weird. Like I said, I didn't want to fight. I didn't like to fight. I don't know. And I kept looking up different places, and then I found Reed Boxing. It was like down the street from my house on the north side. He passed away now, so condolences to his family and things like that. But it wasn't the right fit for me. Yeah. So I ended up moving to the engine room, and that's when me and my friends were downtown, and I told them, "Hey man, come with me to the gym." And it was like probably 6:00, whatever. So I went up there. I talked to the main coach or the owner. I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to compete. I want to do this, whatever." He was like, "All right, come back another day." And I went to their noon class, and I started to like it. And it became an obsession at one point. And I would go to like, I think it was the summer. I would go to the noon class, and then some days I'd come right back at like 1:00 or whatever, or 1:30, and do the same workout again. And I sparred a couple times at the engine room, but again, got a little pricey, and then I started going to college, which, looking back, I should never have done. Yeah. I should have stuck with boxing. But that was my introduction to boxing, the Engine Room. And actually, he's about to fight somebody coming up, but Jeremiah Milton, there's a picture of him at HAC.
The dude with
the dreads. Yep. Okay. So I met him at the Engine Room. He was my coach. He was my 12 o'clock coach. And it was funny because there was another professional fighter. What is his name? Alan Green. Mm. He was a professional fighter at that time, and I was telling Jeremiah, I was like, man, I can't wait for you to go pro, because he was doing Golden Gloves and things like that. But now he's a pro, so I'm really happy of his. That's nice. Yeah, and I had him on the podcast as well. He was nice enough to be on the podcast. But yeah, so he was my first teacher, taught me the fundamentals and things like that. But fast forwarding years later, I had my son, gained a lot of weight, and I was working at Planet Fitness. Met this other guy who taught me how to lift weights. And I was like, not really wanting to get big, because I thought muscle would have, got big. I wanted to get smaller. And I started working at a dispensary midnight to 8 a.m. And I would go to Planet Fitness with that guy at 3 a.m. So I couldn't do that anymore. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I got me a membership at Planet Fitness. And I was like, you know what? I miss boxing. I miss doing that. So I went back to the Engine Room. They switched locations, but as a new father, and I just had this job in diapers and all this extra shit. Don't have kids, guys. Okay? Diapers, all they do is poop in them. Yeah. What, bro? Well, anyway, got a little too expensive, and I met this man podcasting. His name is Castro. Shout out to you, buddy. But he was a owner of a battle rap league at the time, and he was promoting HAC because they were going to have the battles there. And he was like, hey, new boxing gym coming to Tulsa, $40 a month instead of $100 that I was paying. I was like, a real nigga could do $40. That's nothing crazy. Whoa. So me and my son's mom and him, we all went up there, and we had like a little family package or whatever, and man, paid the membership, and from that day forward, I've been there. Yeah. And 3 years now, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, this shit's. I've been there, man. But yes, that's what got me into boxing.
Do you want to go pro?
That's a good question. On one hand, yes. On the other hand, I love this. Yeah. I love this. Yeah. But I don't know if you met him yet, but there's a guy named Malik. He's only 12 pounds lighter than me. He's been kicking my ass in sparring.
I ain't gonna lie.
And I'm like, if this is what's waiting for me, bro.
He got the same kind of haircut as you, basically.
I believe so, yeah. Big ass dude. Golly.
I ain't gonna lie.
I thought I was he's natural. I was fat, bro. I'm now getting bro. I'm now getting small. This nigga is big. But
I think my first day going to one of the classes, what's it called? It was like one of the evening classes. Cause I was just doing the mitts with Sam at first. Then I go to a class and I was like, okay, let's see what it's about. So classes of sparring days. I think it was like Don. Don, he's like 6'5" or 6. Like he's a taller dude. Okay. And then Malik. Sam tells Malik, this is Don's first time in our gym.
Oh shit!
Let's go light. Yeah. Don hit him. It was pretty smooth one time, and Malik admitted he was like, I felt it, and he was like. Then they started throwing haymakers. When I tell you, if they got it on video, my jaw was like this.
Yeah, bro.
I was just like, nah, y'all tweaking, and then after, they laughed it off or whatever. Yeah. And Malik was like, that didn't feel like light sparring at first.
Right, bro. He's hitting me hard as fuck. Malik, please, bro. Stop hitting me so hard.
I ain't getting in the ring with that.
But no, shout out to him. He has pushed me, because we've only sparred twice. And both times he's kicked my ass. But he has pushed me to be a better fighter, but a better athlete as well, because I am pushing myself, man.
That's good.
And I think I have a little game plan to at least be decent. Yeah. Because the first time, I don't think I hit this man. right? He was, and then Sam was coaching him a little bit the first time. I'm like, nigga, can you please not? Oh, and I think it was the second. It was probably I think it was the first time. I was like, Sam, please stop coaching this nigga, bro. Coach me, if anybody, okay? But no, and then the second time, I think I hit him a lot more. Not a lot more, probably like 3 times. All right, that's a lot compared to 0.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just time after time, man, and that's the beauty about boxing. Boxing's a really lonely sport. You run by yourself. I mean, you can do it with other people, but majority of the time, you can box anywhere. You can shadow box anywhere. You can do, head movement anywhere. It's a lonely fucking sport, okay? 90% of my boxing journey by myself. You can ask Sam. This nigga sees me with nobody all the time. Yeah. All right? And when you finally get individual or a team together and you have these sparring sessions or you have the conversations about boxing, then you learn from each other and you start to grow. That's why it's called work. Like, of course it's sparring, but to have good work is a good sparring session. But yeah, man, that's me. I just need this nigga to stop. The first, because I thought I was good. Yeah, I thought I was good. You saw me. I thought I was good.
Yeah, no, he is good though. He is good. Don't let him don't let him deceive y'all. Y'all, he's just playing. He is good. Thanks. I walk in the gym. I ran college track. Okay, so I walk in the gym. I go and he's already in the gym. Punching the bags. Already doing his thing. I do my little workout with Sam. I finish my workout. He's still going. Then he hopped in the ring and shadow boxed. Yep. Kid you not, then Sam had me hit the bags for a little bit before I left. I'm taking my sweet time. I'm over here dying. I go outside to my car. I thought he left or something. No. He's running. Yep. Like, when I say I left and that depleted my confidence, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I was
who's this fucking fat guy?
Like, I was like, I'm dying, and he's over here.
That's crazy.
Just like slight. Like, he probably could have done my workout and done another one and another one, 3 of them with ease and not broken a sweat. I literally was. Inhaler. Never had an inhaler in my life. Like, I was just so like that was
Well, thanks, props, man. I appreciate it because, bro, I'll show you some pictures when I first started. I was big, bro, big as fuck. And like I said, there was times where I couldn't finish. I mean, I think I could finish the workout, but I used to do 2-minute rounds, and then I bumped it up to 3. But it's just there was times, bro. I was in there dying.
That's me every day.
And it just, man. I look at. I don't know if you met him, but there's another man named Sam. He's a Mexican dude. I think he's gonna turn 18 or 19 this year. This nigga is a monster. When I first went there, I thought he was my age.
Is he the one with the buzz cut or no?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while, but probably like he has like probably I don't know. I can picture his face, but I don't. But this nigga is a monster. He's in there. He does the ropes, the heavyweight. I'm looking at him like we start. I do like shadow boxing, and when my time's done, he's still going. I'm like, bro, do you die? Are you okay? Like, do you need to talk to somebody?
Nah, Sam's training some animals and like some like heavy hitters, like hands, and it's crazy too. Y'all be safe who y'all mess with out there because
you wrestlers think it's cool until a boxer hits you 5 fucking times before you know it.
You think you know someone until you don't, and they hit you with that 1, 2, 3, right. 1, 2, 3, and then hey, it changes everything.
I was watching Breaking Bad, and the wife was like, "Who do you think is gonna show up at our house and kill you?" He was like, "I'm the one who does the knocking." That's how I am, man. You think you're gonna beat me up? I'm the one who's gonna beat you up.
No, but it's the thing too, like. Fighting a boxer probably outside in public is way like it's probably fun for the boxer. That's why you probably will see boxers whenever they fight in public street. Bro. They don't usually fight, but when they have to, it's like they laugh or they're like like they're excited now because like when I tell you I've been in street fights. Now when I sparred D, when I sparred D, like it was just like
I can't tackle him. I can't slam him.
Like it was like we weren't even going like full on crazy. Like
it looked like it. Y'all was hitting hard as fuck. See, man, I think I'm still a bitch, bro. Because like I can take a punch because Malik hit hard as fuck.
Yeah,
but bro, I don't like pain.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Well, I actually that's the thing about it too. Is like that day I left with like a busted lip and stuff like that, and like it just made me want to come back the next day. Like I was like, yeah, let's go. But like the thing is, like when it's a whole different ball game because we went like 5 rounds total, and like 4 rounds total, and by like round 3, I was gassed. No, 5 because he made a skip one. Yeah, 5, and so by 3 I was gassed. D came through with what's it called? A gut shot.
Woo.
To my knees like this. I just literally just said, no, I'm not doing this no more. Like what?
Yeah, but because that's the thing, being hit in the head, it hurts. But if you're still coherent, you'll be okay. Yeah. But if you get hit in the stomach and you try to breathe, move, fart, anything,
it's not gonna work for you.
You are in pain.
It's not gonna work.
Malik hit me in the sternum 2 weeks ago. Before I knew it, I was laying on my back. I was like, how did I got up fast because I ain't no bitch. But I was like, bro, what did he hit me with?
Nah, it dropped me to my knee.
There was another time, I think it was the first sparring session, he hit me in the stomach and it felt like all my intestines moved to the left. I was like, sir,
no,
what is going on? Yeah, body shots hurt like
body shots are mud. And then I get up and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go now. Like, so, you know, I thought I was going to slip and duck under something and roll. He hit me top of the head. When I tell you, I've never been knocked out in my life. When I say I now know almost what it feels like, I literally, like, my body went from, like, a boxing position just to straight up.
Yep.
Straight up. I luckily did not fall, but when I say I was like...
Man, that's like equilibrium. I think the ear and the top of the head. I think
had me dazed in my head. I literally, even Sam was like, that's whenever he gave me the extra round to take a break. He was like, yeah, you're tired. Take a round off. I said, bet.
Yeah, because your brain knows what to do. Yeah, slip. But your body's like, huh? Slip what?
Nah.
Are you saying sleep or slip? What is going on?
Nah. That was the closest I've ever been to being knocked out, but we're so far not knocked out yet. So.
Well, that's beautiful, man. So last thing.
Yeah.
Your clothing brand.
Okay.
You showed me that. I thought it was fucking amazing.
Okay.
I wear 3X, by the way.
Of course. We're going to hook my guy up for sure.
But tell me a little bit about that. Where did it derive from? I know you said it was the W.
Yeah. So, W, first off, I'd like to give all glory to God for the ideas and just the ability to have I don't have a platform yet, but I mean, Instagram's a platform. So platform to just sell clothes and stuff like that. But basically what happened was in Texas, when I wasn't doing no good for myself and nothing good for myself, I always had a vision for clothing. Mm-hmm. Me and my friend, we like used to always go and take pictures. Like I swear up and down, I started the way, me and my homeboy named Jay, his name's Jace Pruitt. We started the wave at our college of going out and taking flicks, like, for Instagram.
Okay.
And so, like, we would just go put a fit on and then go take flicks and then go post it on Insta. And so then now more and more people were like, hey, let's go take pictures with Jack and Jay. So then more and more people started taking pictures with us. And then now everybody and their mamas was taking pictures and going and posting on Instagram. I swear we started at our college. And I'm not saying around the world, but at our college we did. And so I always had the idea, like, I liked fashion. I always wanted to do something. And my whole life, I like to talk. I mean, it's an hour 50 now. Yeah. We just talk.
It's easy.
Like, I love to talk.
And so, podcasting is beautiful. Yeah. Man. So beautiful.
And so, like, I always just had the idea, but then, like, I never was putting into motion because, like, I was lazy. And I was always putting my friends first and always like, hey, Jack, let's go play 2K. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Okay, let's go do that. And then I never focused on the brand. So then, God bless my dad with the opportunity to come here and coach up here. And so then I was like, let me go to Oklahoma. And literally until the day that I left, I didn't think I was actually going to Oklahoma. It was just like saying, like, it was just one of those things. I was like, I'm gonna move. Like, Then my dad called me. Was like, are you actually gonna come? I said, yeah. And so I came. And then
did your brother come or just you?
Just me. Me. So he stayed down in Texas. He was in high school at the time. And then I came here. At first, I didn't like the school because I was still living of the world, and it's a Christian school. And so a lot of the times, like, people acted like they're shit didn't stink, right? But there's some people that were just genuinely judging me and being rude, but then there were some people that were not accepting me for the sin. And that's good because they were showing me I shouldn't be accepting people that are angry in my life because that's going to lead me to be angry.
100%.
You're easily influenced by your friends. And so, like, then I was still living of the world and stuff like that, so I didn't like the college at first, so then I told him not to come here at first. Like, I was like, don't come here, like, don't come here. But basically, then I started the brand, and so I just, like, would pray, and, like, I'd be like, what ideas? Like, I had an idea of what I wanted the brand to be, but I didn't know what the name was going to be. I didn't know what I always had, like, a list of things I wanted to sell, but, like, I just didn't know. So then, like, I started writing what I wanted the brand to be, and then the brand W is a play on of words. So it's double, DOUBLE, and then 2 U's. So double U. The 2 U's mean unfeigned and unembarrassed. Unfeigned means to just be yourself, be you, and just, like, be authentic. Mm-hmm. Be authentically yourself. And then unembarrassed means don't be embarrassed. Be yourself and don't be embarrassed about it. So I was like, that's exactly what I've always said. Like, all my life, no one can really get me down because I know who I am. You know? And so if you know who you are, no one can really bother you. And, like, I've always said, why am I going to copy what my friends are doing? Because God didn't make us to be copy and paste people. Like we talked about earlier, we're all blessed with different gifts, different hidden talents. So if we're all not unfeigned, and if we're all just following our friends and we're worried about what our friends are going to say, what our friends are going to do, what our friends are going to, like, all this stuff, where are we going to go in life? You know? And so I've not been a perfect person in my whole life. I mean, I'm not perfect.
Right.
And so I just personally, like, I was like I've done wrong to people. I've said wrong to people. I've done all these things. But, like, then I realized, like, God's calling against that stuff. So started the brand, W, play on of words. So, like, throw the double, it's 2 U's. So double U, and then, like, it sounds like W. Mm-hmm. So, like, W, so W. Like, I was just like, that's perfect. Like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Like, and I was like, that's why I give all the glory to God, because, like, before the day I found unfeigned, I did not know what unfeigned meant. And so, like, but, like, I started the brand 2 years ago in 2023, but my idea was to find the good in, like, rappers and stuff like that, right? And then, like, post a shirt about it, and then, like, but still have the faith-based brand title to it. But then also, too, not all rappers are good. Yeah. And so, like
didn't you have Bob Marley on one of yours?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
The orange one?
Yeah. It's a cream brown, and then, like, with, so, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so Bob Marley was on it. But that was, like, in my notes, the first ever note I ever made was, like, for the clothing brands, was Bob Marley.
Okay.
So, like, I have all these ideas.
Woo.
But the first ever one that I ever put in place since 2023, whenever I first made that notes, 2022 was Bob Marley.
What's your reasoning behind that?
I don't know. Like, it was just, like, I liked his point of view of life. Like, it was just, like, don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to be all right. And, like, all these things, like, he was just, like, he spread positivity throughout his music, throughout being authentically himself. If he what's it called, listened to everyone around him, what was he going to be?
Right.
If he listened to all, like, he's the one that paved the way for reggae. But if he didn't follow what his heart was saying and what he thought he could do and the gift that he was given, he would have never met the goal and reached the potential that he did. Yeah. He passed away so long ago. I'm telling you right now, if we look at my Apple Music, I probably listened to some of his songs like 5 times within the past week. Like, and he still has a hold on not just my life, but everyone, like, who listens to reggae will listen to Bob Marley or knows who Bob Marley is.
I can't understand reggae to save my fucking life. I do like that song, No Woman, No Cry.
Yeah.
But did you see it on the Black Panther 2 movie?
Yeah.
So whoever sings that, so of course Bob Marley made it, but there's another person who remade it.
Yeah,
and that's I have that one downloaded because I can't understand.
Yeah, no, and that's my thing. Like, so that's why I made the first shirt. Bob Marley does like. I just always, like, had, like, an idea, one love shirt, and the reason being is because my brand is to spread love and, like, positivity and just being yourself. And so at the bottom of the shirt, at the top of the shirt, it says, like, King of Reggae. But at the bottom of the shirt, it says Robert Nesta Marley, best known as Bob Marley, was one of, if not the most influential reggae singers of all time. In many of his songs, he expressed the importance of peace, love, and equality. And so, like,
informational shirt,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, you know, like, it's not only just telling you, like, it's not only just a shirt that's, like, there with a face on it. It's telling you the good that he's done in life. He spread love. He spread peace by his music. He was authentically himself.
Right.
He was unfeigned and unembarrassed about it. And then on the back of the shirt, it says, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. So anyone that comes across and reads the back of that shirt, they're seeing one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. Like, we're all one. We're all human species. We're all in this together. We're all going through trials and tribulations. We're all dealing through life, but all differently.
That's dope, man.
And so, yeah, the brand is just, but now, like, since, like, I've really come to find God and who he is and who he's calling me to be, and, like, and letting him just direct my life more, it's now, like, almost not switching and complete as a brand, but more faith focused. And it's not, like, going to be a shirt that says, Jesus loves you. Sell. Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, I've always liked fashion. I know what fashion is, and to make it in life, you have to be different. You have to set yourself apart. And I can't preach being unfeigned and being yourself and then make something that someone else makes. So it's gonna be different, but add a little touch twain to adding Christianity to it. Because as a brand, I don't want the brand to accept people. I want the people to accept God to wear the brand. I want to make clothes that are so hard that it's like, I will wear that.
Yeah.
There is like maybe a Bible verse on there, but it's so tough. I'm going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And just spread his word through just even a little piece of clothing. Not force it on anyone. I'm not going to force you to wear my clothes. I'm not going to force you to get my clothes. But if you want to wear my clothes, there's going to be a little touch of love and joy and like positivity in that piece.
That's beautiful. Well, is there anything that you want to end with? Like your Instagram, what you want to do? Any inspirational things for young men out there in the world?
I just say be yourself and always be authentically you. And just find who God's really calling you to be. He's giving you a gift. It's up to you to go out and find it and use it and trust in his timing and his process. And once you do that, you'll find the purest of joy and happiness, but also surround yourself as men and as women who are watching with people that are going to direct you in the right path. Not everyone's there for you in a good way. Not everyone's going to be there for you in every season, but there's seasons in life, and just trust in God in all seasons and lean on him. And I shout out W on Instagram, DOUBLEUUA for association, and then Musukuma 35, MUSUKUMA 35. More clothes coming soon. We'll hook my guy up with something for show so that he can rock it for y'all. Because I
definitely will.
Yeah, he can rock it for y'all, you know.
Because with my taxes, I'm definitely going to need more clothes. Because I'm losing weight and I need to look handsome out here.
Yes, sir. And just subscribe to the channel, you know. Thank you for having me. I appreciate 100%, it.
Brother.
Great opportunity.
Likewise.
You know.
All right, everyone. From us to you all, may your pain be champagne.
That was nice.
Thanks,
that was
man.
nice. That was
Thanks.
sweet.
Thank you.
Okay.
I did steal it from somebody, but it's okay.